Just some troubleshooting reminders for when you're troubleshooting microchannel systems. Always verify the charge via the charging chart and the install instructions for the condensing unit. Verify that you have the proper piston in the air handler. Verify if you need to make a piston change in the outdoor unit, that you change that piston in that new liquid line valve that we have that contains the piston. If you do change the outdoor piston, let's just say it's a retrofit, you're installing a new air handler, and you want to keep the same outdoor condensing unit, remember, if it is a heat pump system, if you want to use the distributor in the liquid line, make sure you remove the piston from the internal distributor inside the unit itself. Keep in mind the charging charts also for microchannel systems are based on proper matchup with a microchannel indoor unit, microchannel outdoor. Refer to the QRD if you have a microchannel outdoor unit with a fin and tube, B5, C6. Refer to those QRDs for the proper charge levels. Again, if the charge is incorrect, the system won't work properly, it won't perform to proper performance. If you have a older 10 SEER, 12 SEER fin and tube outdoor unit, and you have to replace the indoor coil, you want to use our subcooling and superheat slide calculators. You could also use the 95/5 rule on that. Whatever works best for you to get the proper amount of charge on those mix match systems, especially with the older equipment, do what's going to work best for you. But as long as you can get that charge to the proper amount and the proper performance for your system, use whatever works for you on that. We introduced a brazing kit for microchannel condensing units. Prior to the brazing kit, we had the epoxy repair kit. Now we have a brazing kit. That kit includes a brazing rod, a flux brazing rod for aluminum coils. It also includes a brush, I believe a little bit of sandpaper on there to clean up the area. But use that brazing kit to repair any microchannel condensing units. We've got previous videos on how to do the repair, so refer back to those previous videos for the brazing repair kit. For microchannel indoor coils, coil replacement is the only option on that. Always keep in mind, if you open up a microchannel system or any 410A system or any refrigeration system, when reconnecting the line sets, make sure you replace the liquid line dryer with a new one. And make sure you do the triple evacuation method, and always braze with nitrogen. Can't emphasize that enough. Another technical tip is water running off of the microchannel coil. We've gotten some reports of water falling off on the interior portion of the coil. A lot of times that can be solved by ensuring that, as we mentioned earlier on in the video, that our bracket is completely to the rear on the right-hand side. We also want to make sure that the coil itself is sitting properly in that in the drain pan. So verify that everything is good there with the placement of the coil. And the number one problem that we found with water dripping off the coil, remember this is a single pass coil, is undercharged systems. Guys are not paying attention to the QRD. They are not weighing in the refrigerant properly. They're kind of going beer can cold on the charging. That doesn't work with microchannel or any new systems anymore. We need to make sure that we weigh in the proper amount of refrigerant. We weigh in the amount of refrigerant that the QRD asks for, and that we completely get this coil saturated with the proper amount of refrigerant. Again, remember the liquid refrigerant enters into the coil. It's only a single pass, so the right-hand side is going to be a little bit cooler than the left-hand side. We want to make sure that we've got sweating completely down the side, and a lot of that has to do with the improper amount of charge being added at the time of the installation. If you are unsure of the charge amount within the system, remove whatever is left in the system. Of course, leak check the system, and then weigh back in the refrigerant per the QRD on that is attached with the system. We've got to make sure that we have the proper amount of refrigerant in the system for the water to track down the coil properly. Another problem we found is setting the blower speed. A lot of installers, servicers don't realize that we don't set the blower speed for you. At startup, make sure you set the proper blower speed for your system. If that means checking your static pressure for the system and make sure that you set it for the proper total system static pressure, do that. Use a thermometer, use a magnehelic gauge to get the proper total system static, and then set, once you've got that static pressure, set your blower speed to the proper speed. Okay? Always use the rule of 400 CFM per ton of cooling. That still applies with microchannel. Again, we do not set the blower speed from the factory for your install. You must set that blower speed for your particular install. Do that at the beginning of the install. You should be should have good success and not have any issues with water rolling off of the indoor evaporator coil.